Bitcoin is down bad again. Let's check out what's going on. Are we in a bear market? What happened with the death cross? And what's going on with China? So as you guys probably know, I've been saying for the last couple weeks, ever since we got into this range right here, we are still between $30,000 and $40,000 on Bitcoin. I expect us to stay here for potentially another couple weeks, maybe even longer. I don't know. There's also a chance we do once again break down below that 30,000 mark and hit a $28,000 Bitcoin on a wick of the day. But I still feel like the 30,000 mark is going to hold strong. We did have the death cross happen just a few days ago over the weekend. You can see since then we are down pretty bad, but there's also a couple other reasons for why we're down right now. This is the daily chart. You can see our pi cycle top over here. Every time I see it, it pains me. It's like, man, we should have sold the pi cycle top. At least locally it called the top. After the death cross, we are going to see what happens over the next couple weeks. I would really be very confident in Bitcoin if we can hold this $30,000 mark that we've hit on wick and come close to 3 times now. The last 2 days we've been close to it. We're actually right now around $33,000. It's back up a little bit in the last couple hours since I've made this video, but I do think that there's going to be a really important next couple days and even next couple week or two after this death cross has hit to see if we can hold that support at $30,000. This couldn't have been worse timing as well, because if you guys missed it, China is actually shutting down Bitcoin this time. There's been multiple news articles of the last several cycles or last several years that China's banning Bitcoin, and it's never really happened. China's always been having Bitcoin. They've always been mining Bitcoin, but now they're actually having some of their provinces shut down miners of Bitcoin. And we know that this is actually happening. It's not just FUD. It's not just news. It's not just whatever made up, because the hash rate has gone down dramatically in the last couple days. Really, since May 14th, it's dropped a bunch, and then it's come down way more since then. We are right around the levels we were back in November of last year. It's definitely come down quite a bit. All these Bitcoin miners in China, which makes up a pretty significant amount of the hash rate for Bitcoin and the Bitcoin network, they're going to be moving their Bitcoin operations or mining operations out of China and probably into North America or US places, and maybe even things like El Salvador with the volcano. The geothermal mining might be coming into play here, because China is releasing their own digital dollar, the digital yuan, which directly competes with Bitcoin. And that's part of the reason why they are trying to ban and or limit the mining of Bitcoin, because it goes against the exact thing they're trying to make in their own digital dollar. So the hash rates dropped down quite a bit. Obviously, with all the news coming out, it's continued FUD. I guess you could say it's legitimate, but it is also still FUD. It's still fear, uncertainty, and doubt. It does make retail investors, people that don't and believe in long-term for Bitcoin, freak out even more, and does probably encourage some selling. I don't want to say that news is a major driving factor for every single price action movement, but I will say that this is a legitimate thing that's happening, and there are impacts happening because the hash rate's going down, not necessarily the price of Bitcoin. The news related part of it might be a catalyst for the price of Bitcoin, but I want to talk about real quickly the positive impact this has on North American miners. I've been talking to you guys a couple times about things like Mara, Marathon Digital Holdings, and things like Riot. These are two of the biggest North American Bitcoin miners. These both didn't drop as much today as I expected. Usually when Bitcoin drops, you can see Bitcoin dropped, 20% in the last 7 days. It's down 5% right now, but when it hit 31,000 earlier, it was down on the 24-hour almost 12%. So when it drops that much, Mara and Riot and miners in the stock market in general tend to get crushed. And when Bitcoin goes up 10%, these tend to go wild as well. Today, I noticed, man, Mara, Riot down 3%, 2% after hours. Riot down even less, only 2%, both during the bell and after hours. I was like, why are these not going down nearly as much if Bitcoin's been getting hammered over the weekend, right? They opened on Monday, they weren't down that bad, but Bitcoin's gone down bad in the last couple days. I realized that China shutting down their miners actually is net positive. It's a good thing for these miners in North America. Basically, the simplified way that it works is that the difficulty is less hard for other miners when there's less miners on the network, and therefore that could increase profitability for the other miners that are still mining. If you have less miners, less hash rate, it's less difficult to solve the mathematical equations, which thus yields more profitability sometimes. So this could be a reason why things like Mara and Riot and other miners didn't get hit as hard today as I was expecting. I will say that if Bitcoin holds 30,000 and China continues to enforce the ban of crypto miners, Marathon, Riot, and other North American or globally located publicly traded miners might be a really, really good buy at this point. The reason I also say that is because in the last 6 months, this area has held as a pretty decent support. I would say that Mara could come down around $20 again, so it will be coming off a bit more, another 20 to 30% potentially from where it's at right now before I really feel confident in support. But I do think that this is still a great buy for the long term. They have plans to expand their operations, and with China cracking down, this makes it even easier for them to be more profitable. When we look at some of the altcoins outside of Bitcoin right now, as you can imagine, it is bloody in the streets. I mean, Ethereum executed one of my orders today around $1,850, which was pretty good. I think that's a steal for Ethereum, especially over the next 5 years. It's down 24% in the last 7 days. You can see a lot of the other top altcoins, Dogecoin specifically, getting absolutely murdered today, down 75% since Elon Musk's SNL bit, which is just bad. And I've said this all along. You probably could have made a bunch of money off Doge if you played it right, but I am not a fan of Doge. I do not think it's literally battling time, and when things go down, they go down hard. Market cap, it's gotten flipped by XRP now and Binance Coin. It's down to 27 billion. It's lost $70 billion in market cap since SNL. That's a lot of money, a lot of freaking money. But you can see the story is the same. It is ugly. In the last 7 days, Bitcoin goes down a little bit. Everything goes down real hard. You got some 30, 40% drops in here, and we've already been down for a while. So it's safe to say that the market is getting absolutely crushed right now. However, it's not all terrible news. I do think that China shutting down of operations doesn't necessarily mean that the hash rate is going to stay low forever, or it's going to decentivize people to mine crypto. These mining companies are simply going to move to other areas and be forced to use renewable energy to stay profitable. This is great for the overall clean energy argument that Elon Musk brought up. I think this is going to move us in the right direction even faster than it may have already. And this provides opportunity, like I said, for Mara, Riot, other mining companies to become even more profitable. I do quickly want to look at Plan B, who makes the infamous stock to flow model, and look at his bear scenario, his worst case scenario. This was yesterday on June 20th. Bitcoin below 34,000, triggered by Elon Musk's energy FUD. Don't know if I can get behind that. Definitely somewhat triggered by China's crackdown on mining, and even more so spawned by the death cross that a lot of YouTubers have been talking about. There's also a more fundamental reason that we see weakness in June and possibly July. My worst case scenario for 2021, based on price and on-chain analytics. August is at $47,000 Bitcoin. September drops a little bit to $43,000 Bitcoin. October, we're pushing new all-time highs once again at 63,000. November, just under 100,000. October, November, gonna be absolutely wild. And then December, potentially the blow off top, $135,000 Bitcoin. This is his worst case scenario model mapped out. This is not actually where it is. You can see we are right now somewhere, I believe, probably right around this orange one, give or take. And he's mapping out that it goes, you know, with the yellow, just like the other previous models, even though we've dipped a lot more on this one, more so than the previous models. He gets back up to the stock to flow model, and we do surpass the $100,000 mark in 2021. If you guys don't know, I said on my other channel, from before I moved to this channel, if Bitcoin doesn't hit $100,000 this year, I was going to give all of my subscribers $5,000. Well, I was going to give my subscribers $5,000. 10 different people would win $500 each in the crypto of their choice. I am true to my word, and if we do not hit $100,000 this year, you guys will be getting $5,000 if you're subscribed to the channel. So if you haven't subscribed yet, don't waste any time. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys get in on that. If I'm wrong, you're going to win big. And if I'm right, you're going to win big. With all that being said, I want to leave you on one positive note. This was a really powerful statement that I heard. Amongst all of the noise I'm seeing on crypto Twitter right now, this was the best thing I've seen today by far. For anyone worried about the short-term price action on Bitcoin, it's worth pointing out that it wouldn't be the best asymmetric bet of your lifetime if everyone else saw what was coming. Being early ensures being misunderstood by the majority. This is a great point. Truthfully, if everyone knew that Bitcoin was going to go to 100,000 this year, or 500,000, or $1 million per coin, then why wouldn't everyone be buying it? Well, either A, they don't believe in it enough, or B, they're too late, or most likely, they're too scared to trust their intuition and actually go for it. There's always gonna be people like this, inspiring. Losing money is good, huh? Have fun getting poor. You can be on one side, you can be on the other side, or you can try to stay neutral. I know where I stand. Figure out where you stand. Do your research. We're gonna keep coming back with videos, updating you, letting you know what's most important to focus on, letting you know what I'm thinking, where I'm at. I haven't sold a single ounce of anything major that I own. Haven't sold any Ethereum, any Bitcoin, any ADA. If things keep dropping, I will keep stacking. None of this is financial advice, but I do have one bit of advice. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed. We'll see you guys all next time. Take care.